met Dr. Fantastic along life's way, and I heard him say, you gotta say, I am fantastic, la la la, I am fantastic. You can feel it if you say it. It ain't a game, you gotta learn how to play it. Fantastic, fantastic. Just listen to the doctor. He's a rocker, he walks around all day. He ain't plastic, he's not sarcastic. He says, I am fantastic.
We are fantastic! Nous sommes fantastic!
I'm fan-fucking-tastic.
I am fantastic!
خیلی خوشحالم. I am fantastic.
I am fantastic.
We're fantastic.
Mir gestimmt!
मैं हूँ लाजवाब.
Soy fantástica!
We are fantastic.
رائع.
Mir geht es fantastisch!
Great. من خیلی خوبم.
Чувствую себя круто!
今天放弃啦，항상 저기다.
Io sono fantastico.
Fui fantastic! Eu sou fantástica! Estou fantástica!
You're fantastic.
We are fantastic. 좋아요.
Eu sou fantástica.
I am fantastic!
I am fantastic.
We are
Fantastic.
I am fantastic.
Nous
sommes fantastiques.
I am fantastic!
I am fantastic.
I am fantastic.
I am fantastic. And how are you guys tonight?
We're so fantastic.
We're
fantastic! I am fantastic!
You're fantastic!
I am fantastic.
Hey everybody, welcome to Be Fantastic, the Be Fantastic movement, and I've got a fantastic person on board. Ron, how are you today?
I'm fantastic. Thank you, Lester.
And Ron is into bees, and of course it's the Be Fantastic movement. We got the little bee here.
Yeah.
We get the little bee going.
Be friendly, too.
And be friendly, be kind, be courteous, but most importantly, be fantastic.
And be natural.
Be natural, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So Ron has a few different bee hives, is that correct?
I have Top Bar and Langstroth.
And what does that mean?
Well, the top bar is like the Kenyan design where it's all the bars go horizontally. You don't stack the hive. And they're really cool to work with because it's all one level, not so hard on the back.
Okay.
Maybe you don't harvest as much honey, but it's good for the bees.
Oh.
And then you can put a window in it so you can see all the bees all the way through the brood comb to where the honey stores are.
Now, can you have a bee in your hive in your backyard in Los Angeles?
Well,
is there a license for that, or what?
You know, for me, I live up in Northern California, so it's no problem. But you know, there are a lot of cities that it's not a problem as long as you don't overdo it and cause problems with your neighbors.
Right.
But you know, a lot of people have them on the rooftop that live in the city or whatever. You know, whatever's available.
So that was, you said you had two different types of bees?
Yes. So
What's the other one?
the other one's the Langstroth, the kind, you know, the one that's been around a long time. That's, you know, where you stack the boxes on top of each other. They got 8 to 10 frames for the bees to build wax on, build comb, and you know, which are fine. I just kind of built some of these top bars because they're easy, they're cheaper,
Okay.
less pieces of equipment,
Right. And where do you get your bees? You have to buy bees, or they multiply?
Well, okay, so I first started out with a package, like most people do, and then, you know, I fed them a little sugar to get established so they would build comb. And then ever since then, I've always had at least one hive going through the winter, if not 2 or 3. And of course, these days, sometimes they don't always do well with mites and different, some of the different little challenges they go through. But right now, 3 hives, 1 Langstroth, 2 top bar, and 1's getting ready to split, so I'll have 4 hives pretty soon.
4 hives. Now, how much honey will that produce?
Well, I think I harvest about, probably like, I don't take a lot, but I take maybe about 40 pounds.
40 pounds?
40 pounds a year.
Now, it's a healthy thing to eat, obviously, right? Do you eat a lot of honey?
I have a teaspoon a day.
Teaspoon a day?
Yeah.
Keeps the doctor away.
It keeps, with my oatmeal.
With your oatmeal?
Every morning, with my oatmeal.
With your oatmeal.
And then my wife has it in her tea.
And then you sell the rest, I guess?
No.
What do you do with all the rest?
Family.
Oh, family.
Oh, yeah.
You have a big family. That's
No,
40 pounds.
they're sweet freaks.
That's a lot of shit.
No, my
That's a lot of
grandkids
honey.
go through it like it was honey. And then my daughter likes it in her tea, and then occasionally some friends up north will give me some salmon.
Oh,
Salmon season.
The barter system, the old barter
Yeah,
system.
and then I give them a jar of honey,
There you
which
go.
they appreciate.
Sure.
So,
So tell me the benefits of honey.
well, number one, the benefits of the bees is you become a little more tuned to nature.
Okay.
And you learn about the pace of nature. You can't force things in life. The bees are a great example of that. You watch them, it looks like helter skelter, but they got a method to what they're doing. And when you pay attention to that, they are really remarkable teachers. And so you get to appreciate all the little things like in your yard that you know they get pollen and nectar from, and then you get to appreciate all the little native bees that are in your yard, because all of a sudden you start paying attention to those. And then you don't want to use pesticides or insecticides and stuff like that, because that's what kills them. And so it just makes you pay attention a little more and become more in tune.
Did you watch the series Our Planet?
Yes.
Remember when the bee went into the orchid
Yes.
and had to crawl through the tunnel?
Yes.
To get, was that remarkable?
Oh, beautiful.
Oh my! Everybody, you got to watch Our Planet. I mean, the things that you learn, that it makes it all make sense. I mean, these things have to happen, and in nature that makes it happen for us to be alive. I mean, the dirt that goes into the ocean, the 2 billion tons of dust that settles in the ocean is important for the life of the ocean and the fish and us. It's just amazing. It's a great, I highly recommend it. And I also recommend the Revelation of the Pyramids. Great show. Great documentary. So getting back to bees,
Yes.
because they say without bees we wouldn't be around. And this is the new logo, everyone. I got to show you the new logo. So after you become fantastic with my movement,
I don't have my sunglasses on to match, but
well, you are fantastic because you're into bees, and you know it's the Bee Fantastic movement.
it is.
It is a fantastic movement. It's all about being positive, as bees probably are, right?
Well, the good thing about it is when you get into bees, you think, oh, okay, this can't be too hard. And then you start learning as you go, like most beekeepers. And then there's beekeepers, and then there's bee havers. And so the great thing about bees is if you really get into it, there's a lot of associations that you can get involved in. And it's kind of like one of those deals where people help each other. You know, you don't go to some college class, everybody helps each other,
As it should be.
and we're all learning.
This is fantastic.
We don't ever stop learning about bees and what it takes to
They're amazing. They're amazing.
Yeah.
Now, what are the myths that people have about bees? Like, they do die when they sting you, correct?
correct.
So that's not a myth. There are any myths that are out there that people...
Well, the males, which are larger, the drones, they don't sting.
Oh, they don't sting. Okay.
No, they don't sting, so you don't have to worry about those. And most of the time when they're foraging on the plants, gathering nectar or pollen, they really aren't out to sting you unless you accidentally step on one or one, gets.
Well, that's their
caught
defense.
on.
The sting is, but they die
But
afterwards.
yeah, so
who
it's
would
not-
want to die? If,
Well, most of the bees are they're just going about their business, and when they swarm, it looks really scary, but really they're more concentrated on swarming and moving with the queen. So
and there's one queen per hive, correct?
Yes.
So you have 4 queens,
Yes.
and you can spot them pretty easily.
Yes. They're not. Well, yeah. When you get an eye for them, they're a little longer body. Usually they don't have quite the distinct stripes on them. It's more of a solid color body, either light or dark. But
What kind of crown do they wear?
well, it depends on what you give them. You can.
Can you make a little crown for the bee?
Yeah. I wish, because it'd make it easier to see them.
Exactly.
you know.
Exactly.
But they do kind of blend in when you have
Thousands, right? I mean,
yeah.
how many bees would you say are in those 4 hives? 1,000, 10,000?
Oh no, there's probably 30 or 40,000
Wow.
a hive.
A lot of bees.
You know,
and you
and
don't have
those
to feed
aren't
them
huge
anything.
hives.
They have their own food.
Yes, they're this time of year, which is May. There's tons of pollen and nectar. So
So they fly off and get the pollen, and they can come back.
yeah,
and
they come
do their
back
thing.
and they're all loaded up. Their legs are all full of pollen, yellow, red.
When they rub it off
white.
their legs somehow.
Yeah, you can watch them get in there and just start on the little stamens in those plants, and they just start gathering up, and they get so big, and you can really notice it when they're flying into the hive.
Do you videotape? Do you make like little videos?
I have done some slow mo because they
cool.
move pretty quick with
Yeah,
those
yeah,
wings, so you slow it down. But yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
And it's kind of nice to, sometimes like where the blackberries are, it's like a purple pollen.
Oh.
Which is nice. And then there's eucalyptus at the beginning of the year, and so the flavor of the honey all changes.
Sure.
Depending on where they're foraging.
So, and I noticed that these farmer markets, they have a lot of honey, people selling honey, and there's so many types of honey.
Oh yeah. I mean, for me, it's a mix because our bees are going. We're not in a single. Some people, mesquite or this or that. In some areas where it's mostly one thing that they're foraging on. Mine just have a collection of whatever they're finding, so it's a whole mix of flavors. It's not just like clover or anything like that, like some of them.
So you were telling me earlier about the Be Kind organization. What is that?
Well, they are a business that sells bee supplies and help out with the local bee association in Sonoma County that I belong to. The Sonoma County Bee Association, which is very active, really active people. They do.
Are they busy as bees?
They're
those
very.
guys?
They have to be. If you're going to keep up with honeybees, you better be.
Busy as bees. It's a big thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's all volunteer work. It's a lot of hard work. Doing the fairs and doing the information out there to the
So
public.
is there a bee contest of some sort out there, or a honey contest, or?
Well, there are at the fairs. Where
Do you enter those kind of things? or-
No, I don't. I'm just strictly a backyard beekeeper. I'm not a commercial beekeeper. I'm.
What do you suppose the big companies that make, a volume of honey? What's the big company that makes honey? Would you say, just as an example? I mean, they must have farms, right, of this stuff.
Well,
Huge
I think
farms,
I think they source it from a lot of people.
Oh, you think they buy it from the local farmers?
Well, yeah.
I was just
They
thinking,
do volume.
what is a bee farm? I mean, I'm talking about what is the big company out there that sells honey? I mean, it must come to mind.
Well, the local one up our way, there's Marshall Bees. They have a place out in the East Bay. A lot of different places that they have hives scattered around. But like there's Subi honey and all these. Some of that stuff comes from China, and you don't know. So it's best to deal local, I think, when it comes to honey. And if it's processed, then you lose all the vitamins, so raw, unfiltered honey is the best for you.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Raw, unfiltered honey.
Yeah, and if it, and if you heat it up and if you cook it or heat it up too hot, then you basically kill.
So honey glazed ham is probably just...
It's just flavor.
Just a little bit of
You don't
flavor.
get the benefits
Not the
of honey.
nutrients.
No, you get the flavor, but you don't get the nutrients. So when you heat it up, it loses that quality.
Okay.
Tastes good.
I'm not a big honey person.
Yeah. I mean, I don't use a lot of it, but a little bit goes a long way. The wax and all that stuff, I don't mess with it. A lot of people do. They like melting the wax down, making lip balms, candles, soaps, all kinds of stuff. And that's what a lot of the big commercial guys do, is you make some money off of the honey,
right?
But you can make just as much or more off of the wax.
Well, isn't the wax needed for the honeycombs? I mean,
oh yeah.
Do you replace the wax each year, or what?
Well, you don't want it to get too old because it.
So you would take it away?
Yes.
Wax?
Yeah.
Well, that's how you take the honey anyway, right?
Yeah, it's good to rotate it out. The old dark comb that gets really dark and brown, it's a good time to take it out so they're dealing with fresh. Because to be truthful, the comb, we don't live in a pristine world, and there's a lot of pollutants and stuff that can end up in that wax, build up over years of them, and so it's for the health of the bees.
How long will it take them to see? When you take out the wax, you take out the whole tray of wax?
Yeah, it depends on how you do it. The top bars don't have frames, so they just have a bar, and the honey bees make their own comb just hanging down. There's no frame around it, and so on those you cut it off, you take it and you crush it so you get the honey out, and and strain it through a couple processes, straining out the wax, and now in the Langstroth hives where they have a full frame, you can just scrape the outside of the honey, the caps on the honey, spin the frames, leave the comb there, and the bees will rebuild all the cells.
How long does it take them to do that?
Not very long, because they're busy. You can go this way. I never really paid attention, but they'll have them cleaned out and redone within a couple days.
Really?
Yeah.
And then
they'll start adding nectar or pollen,
right,
or the bee bread.
That's fascinating.
Depending on what they want to use.
Did Our Planet? I didn't watch the whole series yet. Do a lot on bees yet?
Yeah.
They did? I haven't seen that episode. Well, they said without bees we wouldn't be around. It's all big circle of life.
Yeah. Everything. It's a domino effect, unfortunately. I mean, it's a good teaching lesson because we think single-mindedly about things, but really everything is tied together.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So it'll be, when we get up a little ways, it'll be in the right lane. Yeah. Got a little ways to go.
Well, this is everybody. I hope you're enjoying the lesson on bees. It's the second letter of the alphabet.
Yeah.
Any jokes? You got any bee jokes?
Oh, well, oh boy. No. Not for a YouTube channel.
Well, this is it's all okay. I met this one vegan, and he had all these what do you call it? Cannibal jokes.
Oh, jeez.
He's a pretty funny guy, pretty crazy guy.
Well, I did injure my right hand, so it's hard to wipe my behind. But,
there you go.
Yeah.
So everybody, be fantastic. Respect your bees. Eat lots of honey. It's healthy. And most importantly, be kind to one another, as Ellen says. Be fantastic. And watch out for the bees. They're friendly. They're not mean. Don't be afraid of them. Be fantastic, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.
Like, share, subscribe, and tune in May 21st for the launch of the radio show. the Be Fantastic show that's going to make the world a better place and be part of it.
Amen.
Amen.
Hello, America. Do you have a product or a service? Would you like to increase your business, earn customer loyalty, spread patriotism, and thank our veterans for the service to our country? You can do all that by joining Supporting Our Servicemen, a 501c3 dedicated to helping and thanking our veterans. Please join today at ilovesos.org.